Wolverine is one of the most popular of the X-Men to ever be introduced, but that does not mean that he's unbeatable, and some other superheroes showed us exactly why that is. I'm Adam Andrews with Top 10 Nerd, and this is the Top 10 Superheroes Who Humbled Wolverine Part 2. Number 10. Thor. Look, Wolverine may be a pretty quick to anger guy, he may go feral once in a while, but he is not an idiot. The problem is he seems to be rather prone to being mind controlled, brainwashed, and otherwise turned on his allies. One of those allies who quickly helped Wolverine back to his senses was Thor. Wolverine stands not even a slight passing hope of facing off against Thor and being able to come out on top, and yet in 2009 we still got the Wolverine vs. Thor comic book. Essentially, Loki using his magic made Wolverine believe that Thor was actually his nemesis, Sabretooth. Wolvie did actually put a few licks in on Thor, having a greater amount of speed than the God of Thunder, but Thor has got strength, durability, a massive unbeatable hammer, Asgardian physiology, control over lightning, oh he can fly, and did I say he has a massive unbeatable hammer? Oh yeah, and he's a god. So, after he gets fed up with Wolverine's mad ramblings, he swats Wolverine down to the ground, flies up in the air, and calls down a massive lightning bolt that puts Wolverine down and knocks him back to his senses. Number 9. Black Panther. In the aptly named Killable story arc, Wolverine deals with his own mortality as his healing factor is taken away from him. The force that got rid of Logan's power was also having a mind-controlling effect on other heroes, and the source looked to be pointing toward the home of Black Panther, aka Wakanda. Upon meeting Black Panther in Wakanda, he assumed the hero was under the control of the said virus, which was a dumb assumption to make, but superheroes have to fight each other, them's the rules. The thing about Wolverine is his entire fighting style is based on the fact that he can take untold amounts of damage. He can be as reckless as he wants because he isn't really in much danger. But, as T'Challa points out, that is not the case here. After slapping around Wolverine with some relative ease, he convinces Logan that he is indeed not mind controlled and that Wolverine is being the big old dum-dum, because he is. Number 8. Storm. Storm is the kind of mutant who not only has the raw power to beat Wolverine, but in the story we are talking about today, she was able to reduce him down to a charred skeleton, completely taking his life. This is the extremely short-lived X-Men Forever. The series kicked off in an exciting fashion by having Logan wiped out with his remains being discovered in Central Park, and the heroes having a bit of a mystery as to who did it. While everyone assumes it was Sabretooth somehow, the culprit is soon revealed itself to be a now evil Storm, who completely wiped Wolverine's skin and flesh from his bones when he discovered her evil ways. Unfortunately though, fans wouldn't ever get the chance to learn why this happened properly, since the series was cut short before the answers were actually revealed. Number 7. Molly Hayes. I feel like I don't talk about the Runaways enough, and that's a shame because these heroes are a huge hit for Marvel because they rock. Case in point would be Molly Hayes. Molly here was a huge fan of Wolverine's growing up. She was, until she got to meet him. Sometimes Wolverine's angry, savage approach doesn't really work for everyone, and when you come running up yelling and growling at a super strong 10-year-old who just wants to tell you how much of a fan she is of yours, popping your claws and being all weirdly drawn and stuff, yeah, it ain't gonna go well, which Wolverine learned the hard way. After asking Miss Hayes to stop screaming on account of his super sensitive hearing, Wolverine ends up being sock-and-bopped 20 yards out of a church and face first into a snowbank. It's very embarrassing. Number 6. Wasp. This isn't just Wasp humbling Wolverine. This is Wasp humbling the entire X-Men team. During the original Secret Wars in 1985, the Wasp has been shacking up with Magneto. Now, before you get the wrong idea, this is all a ruse so she can figure out what the Master of Magnetism is up to. When he finally reveals it to the X-Men in issue number 7, Wasp immediately turns on Magneto and attacks. Now, with the X-Men wishing to stop her from doing harm to Magneto because they need him, they jump in to defend him. Wasp immediately jumps in to attack them back, and she leads this fight with a big old kick straight to Wolverine's hairy little face. She then bounces off him and lands solid hits on every single one of the X-Men before zipping out of there like a wet fart. Number 5. Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman is a hero who for a long time was very underutilized and very underappreciated, and that all changed with Brian Michael Bendis and with the New Avengers. In the 2005 New Avengers, this group of of heroes find themselves in the Savage Land on the trail of the psychic vampire Sauron, and they just happen to fall upon Wolverine. Well, what actually happened is that Luke Cage and Jessica were in the jungle and Wolverine kind of snuck up on Spider-Woman because, quote, he was being tracked and he didn't recognize their scents. Which, it's a silly reason, but it was also a silly thing to even do because Jessica immediately grabs Wolverine by the wrist, flips him on his back, and then turns his own claws on him, plunging them straight through his own neck. It's hella impressive, even if this was actually a Skrull version of her at the time. Number 4, Squirrel Girl. Nobody beats Squirrel Girl. Dr. Doom, Thanos, Fin Fang Foom, Ego the Living Planet, even Galactus, they have all fallen to her might. So, what good is Wolverine gonna do? None whatsoever. Now, this was during a little sparring sesh that took place in New Avengers 2010, issue number 15, after Wolverine somehow beat Iron Fist in hand-to-hand combat. Iron Fist said he was fighting at a 3 at this time, but it's still pitiful. Wolverine calls up his next sparring partner, Squirrel Girl. After absolutely overwhelming Logan with a flurry of kicks and punches, knocking him on his keister, Doreen felt fully confident to turn around and gloat a little. This gave Wolverine the opportunity to get her in an arm hold, telling her to never turn her back in a fight, to which she replies, "I know," and that's because Wolverine is literally surrounded by an army of maybe like 70 squirrels, all poised to attack him, which forces his surrender to the all-powerful Squirrel Girl. Number 3, Beast. Again, Beast is strong, he's fast, and he's acrobatic, but Logan has those traits as well, plus quite a few others, which is why in a normal straight-up hand-to-hand fight, you'd have to give this one to Logan. Unless Beast has got some plans in place or can otherwise use his great mind, he isn't likely to come out on top against Wolverine. Unless he's got some help. In the Here Comes Tomorrow storyline, Beast is taken over by an entity known as Sublime, who further enhanced Beast and himself by channeling the power of the Phoenix Force. All that power turned this evil version of Beast into a threat to everybody. Now Logan stepped up to take Beast on, but Sublime's powers completely negated Wolverine's healing factor and left him vulnerable. Sublime Beast seized the advantage and tore through Logan, leaving him without being able to regenerate. But of course, this was all cancelled out later by Jean Grey with some good old time travel. It was definitely a very violent and sticky end for Logan though, just saying. Number 2, Cyclops. The rivalry between Wolverine and Cyclops is well documented. There have been entire story arcs to do with their inability to get along. Ever since Wolverine came along, Cyclops just hasn't been as cool as he used to be, and that's gotta sting. While the argument of who can beat who comes up a lot, I think we all just have to look at the facts and understand that when it comes to pure power, Cyclops has the win 9 times out of 10. The guy's optic blasts have been shown to destroy entire mountains, let alone 5'3" angry Canadians. While there have been plenty of times where Cyclops has blasted the skin off Wolverine and put him down, I think the most embarrassing of these defeats comes in 1963's Uncanny X-Men issue 115. Here, the X-Men have made their way to the Savage Land, and thanks to Sauron, Wolverine gets put under some mind control. Now, Cyclops, seeing the danger this Wolverine poses, of course, has to end the threat, and he does so very quickly, blasting Wolverine right in the face, flipping him over mid-jump and landing him face first in a pool of water. Now when Wolverine recovers for the second attack, Cyclops is not pulling any punches and simply fires a blast that sends Wolverine flying a good couple of 100 meters away. And finally, in at number 1 today, it's Magneto. Now, classic comic book fans all know that Magneto is not a hero. Over the years, he has begun to twist to become a hero though, and through that tiny little technicality, I'm going to talk about the time that Magneto completely annihilated Wolverine and reduced his entire character to a whole different level than almost anyone else ever did before. In the 1993 crossover event Fatal Attractions, Magneto was offering mutants sanctuary on his ship, the Avalon, and recovering from the legacy virus, he was planning to completely wipe out humanity, being opposed by the X-Men. Now Xavier, in a special Shi'ar suit, leads the fight against Magneto on Avalon. Magneto holds off everyone until Wolverine gets the drop on him. Now Wolverine makes it so close, slicing him across the chest just a little too close for comfort. This pushes Magneto over the edge. He turns the adamantium on Wolverine's skeleton into liquid and quite literally pulls it out of his body. This got Magneto brought down quick. It led to the rise of Onslaught, revealed that Wolverine's claws are actually bone underneath, and turned Wolverine into a completely feral version of himself. And that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching today on Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Adam Andrews. I will catch you all on the flippity flop. Until then, though, be sure to stay safe and peace out, nerds. Snikt, snikt.